Hello and welcome back to Paranormal NL Podcast. This is season 2, episode 152. I'm your host, Jen. Tonight, I thought I'd give you a special bonus scary Christmas episode to help mix up your festive Christmas season. PNL Podcast is sponsored by the Bog Team. Let's give a big shout out to the Bog Boots on the Ground team music in the background by Robert Dumont. He also makes the PNL Podcast logos. Check him out on season 1, episode 28 with his Devil's Toy Box. Now, also tonight, I'm going to give a shout out to Paranormal and Coven, Linda, and Leva, who were on PNL Podcast Season 2, Episode 134. So Paranormal Coven recommended tonight's guests who are backstage, and I'll bring them on stage and introduce them shortly. Now it's time to pull up your cozy chair, grab your favorite cold one, and listen into Paranormal NL Podcast. It's a place where the people of Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada, and anywhere else in the world can share their paranormal experiences. PNL Podcast also believes in supporting people, places, and things to promote paranormal tourism, paranormal networking all over the world. A big thank you again to all of our PNL Podcast alumni guests from season 1 and 2, and of course our fans. We want to hear your stories. Do you have any paranormal, UFO, esoteric, metaphysical, cryptid creatures, folklore, or just tales of the weird you'd like to share as a guest on my PNL Podcast? Reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, or Gmail at paranormal.nl.podcast@gmail.com. Remember, after your episode, you'll become part of the PNL Podcast Alumni Network. Make sure you click on the bell, like, share, and subscribe to follow along on whatever platform you're listening in on to get updates for new episodes. And head on over to our Facebook group and join our group, Paranormal NL Podcast and Bog Team Group. It's the official place to hang out in a fun and safe space and find upcoming new PNL episodes in the featured section of the group. Now, let's get on with the show. Tonight, I have on the stage with me, we've got Andrew's Paranormal Experience with Andrew and Autumn. Welcome.
Hey guys.
Hello, everyone.
Andrew and Autumn are all the way from southeastern Michigan tonight. Welcome.
How's it going?
Merry Christmas. I've
Oh
got
yeah,
my
Merry Christmas.
Christmas Scrooge hat on here tonight for our scary Christmas episode. So tell us all about Andrew's paranormal experience, Andrew.
Well, so basically I started a group up as a paranormal group. Um, Basically based off of my own experiences throughout my entire life. Um, and I thought maybe I should just start recording my experience and sharing with the world.
Awesome. So you've got somebody else there with you. You've got Autumn. Hi, Autumn.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. How did you end up getting into Andrew's paranormal experience?
Well, honestly,
Remember?
okay, so we've been dating for 4 years, and we just, one day decided, let's get this going and see how far we can take it. And so now she basically controls the camera behind the scenes and
Okay, gotcha.
joins in on the investigations alongside with me. And you
Yeah.
know,
So we
she's
were
got
talking a
twin
little
Bobby
bit
Mackeys with me, and that was a crazy experience.
at Bobby Mackay's.
Oh yeah, I was scratched by a demon. She witnessed it right on camera.
Oh gosh, you're gonna have to explain that one for sure. Let's bring up. I think I have a picture of y'all over at Bobby's. Now, this is another one where you were on location somewhere. There's Bobby's. So what happened?
Okay, so as everyone should know the story of Carl, the caretaker of Bobby Mackey's.
Well, for the people all
Um,
over the world listening who don't know, are you able to share a little story about Carol?
uh, well, okay, so Carl
Carol.
was
Yeah.
he was the caretaker for Bobby Mackey's for a long, long time. He, lived right up the road. Bobby said, "Hey, why don't you come live here up in the apartment upstairs? Take care of the old place, I'll pay you, whatever." Okay. Well, Carl started to change and become a different person throughout many of the years. And so Bobby started getting worried. And, Bobby's a big skeptic. He's a big skeptic in the paranormal world. But it doesn't stop him from trying to help his friends out, right? Back in 93, now this is on YouTube. You can find this on YouTube. It's called The Exorcism of Carl.
Hmm.
Uh, Carl had an exorcism performed on him right where the old right where the old dance floor used to be, right
Okay.
off in the back. Um, they had a preacher come in, they had a camera crew come in, uh, and the demon that possessed Carl, I want to say they gave him a name. His name was, I don't want to be wrong about this, Charlie.
Okay.
And Charlie was the demon that supposedly overtook Carl's body. Now, let's go a little bit further ahead. Now, Carl's passed on, he's gone. And, excuse me, guys. Ooh.
Now, there was another person who went there whose name begins with the letter Z, who I won't mention, but he kind of made that place famous also.
Yes, and I talked to a lot of people that actually run the groups through that area, and he basically faked 90% of it to make it look good. Um, and that's basically what we were told while we were there, by basically paranormal, like the gatekeeper, people who run the tours and stuff through there. Um,
That's
now,
too bad that, things like that happen. But continue with your story. What happened with you guys when you weren't there with Andrew's paranormal experience? What did you encounter?
okay, so we decided, okay, let's do an Estes method. Now,
Oh, I
for
love
anyone
that.
who doesn't know what an Estes method is, it's basically you blindfold yourself, put headphones on, and you listen to white noise. And then obviously the other person on the other end will be asking all the questions. As the answers are coming in through the headphones, you answer them, you yell out the words. So
So were you in
as
separate
you're
rooms or the same room when you did it?
Basically, so I was in one room because it's a big wide open space, so there wasn't really any walls that could block anybody out. But I have the noise canceling headphones, so I can't hear anything going by or anything in my ears.
Right.
Um, so we're getting set up, we're getting ready, and I'm sitting in the chair and I'm blindfolding myself, and I get the headphones on. We start recording. She backs up a little bit, just so that way I don't hear her. And I feel like a burning sensation down my back.
Uh-oh.
Now, I ended up ending the Estes method session, and she comes running over, and right down my neck, 3 claw marks straight down. I have photos of it.
Ouch.
She's actually going to pull them up so we can show you guys.
Okay.
Um,
So
yeah,
did you've kind of felt something on you?
it felt like a very heavy energy, like
Right.
very heavy, very negative, like a
Did you
very
hear
angry.
anything else different in the headset when this happened?
So yeah, actually I heard a voice, but it wasn't like your typical like apparition voice or like a soft voice. It was more of a loud, yelling, demonic, get the out of here type voice.
Right. Okay.
Um
So she's looking for the picture there. What else did you feel or experience while this was happening?
so my chest started to feel like it was caving in. Um, Kind of like a heavy boulder sitting on top of you, pressing down. Um, it's so weird talking about this right now because I have it all on camera too. It's crazy.
Is it hard to
Um,
talk about it or remember it, or do you try not to think about it?
I try not to because it kind of gets emotional.
Right.
Um, with what I felt because I'm a medium, so I feel
Okay.
all of the energy around me.
So tell
Um,
me about your clairs, so you can feel things.
like I sense things. I know when things are gonna happen before they happen.
Okay.
Um, like she hates it, but everything she bases anything that anyone can say in their head, I can hear it.
Right. Yeah. There's lots of different mediums with different capabilities. Yeah.
And for me, it felt like a really angry, sad, like a very mean, angry, and sad, like kind of a mix of emotions, all bundled up in one.
Do you think it was a human spirit, or do you
No,
think no?
nothing about this was human about it. This was something beyond anyone's grasp.
So what else were you feeling when all this happened? I mean, they pulled your shirt up or your back so they could see,
So okay, so I took my hoodie down like this. We had a
right?
flashlight,
Yeah.
and you can clearly see that it was going straight down my neck. Um,
And what happened the next day, Andrew? Did you feel different the next day, or did anything strange happen the next day or that night? I know they're searching now for one of the pictures that they captured when this happened to him. And I think I have another picture here of y'all at Bobby's. There's another picture of you guys on site, and that's your logo there, Andrew's Paranormal Experience, your ghost with
oh,
the camera.
that one was actually not on site. That was at a cemetery.
That was at a cemetery? Yeah, we've
Yep.
got a lot of pictures to talk about. I guess while you're looking for your other one, that's not a problem. We can continue talking about something else, or you can keep talking about Bobby Mackey's.
Well, so I've actually investigated it twice.
Okay.
Once by myself, completely alone.
By yourself. How did that
Yeah,
go?
they call it the gates of hell, and I was in the basement by myself, alone,
Okay.
with nothing but a flashlight, a camera, and my REM pod, which happens to be sitting right behind me.
Was this before you got scratched or after when you were alone?
So the first time was actually before I got scratched. It was the second time we went back, is when I got scratched. And I feel like the energy in that building recognized who I was because I came
That was
back.
gonna be my next question. Did it recognize you? And did it
Because
re
everybody was using spirit talker and things like that, and my name personally kept coming up on everybody else's stuff saying, we know you, hey Andrew, we know you. And
Oh.
everyone's like, hold on a second. And I'm just sitting there freaking out like, okay, so what spirit or entity here is attached to me that is trying to get my attention? Come to find out, it was Carl the whole time.
Okay, so when you were downstairs the first time, I have to ask, you were alone. Did you provoke?
No, I
No?
don't. I do not ever provoke unless I'm just screwing around without a camera.
Right. Yeah. Now, when you were downstairs the first time, did Carol come through?
Yes, Carl did come through and he answered me by playing drumsticks.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and not even 10 minutes later, I went upstairs, found a pair of drumsticks laying on the floor that weren't there.
Really?
Yeah,
And you
I
were there
caught
alone?
I caught everything on camera. Like the moment I said, "Give me a sign, Carl, that you're here." All of a sudden, you hear tap 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 tap, like drumsticks were playing. And then I go upstairs. There's a pair of drumsticks playing or laying right on the floor, and you can actually find those very same drumsticks at the Michigan Museum of Horror in Monroe, Michigan.
Wow. Now, when you were there, you were under lockdown by yourself. There was nobody else there, or was the owner there, or
The only person that was there was the caretaker uh, that sat in the vehicle the whole time, basically, so that way they didn't interfere with our recordings or anything
right?
like that.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Did you find what you were looking for?
I did.
No.
Hang on. There we go. Let's see if I can.
All I can see is a white screen. So
Yeah,
what we
hang on.
can do with that, if we're not able to see it this way, we can add it to the teaser and we can also add it to the Insta reel. Bring it back a little bit. Okay, I do see them. I'd probably angle it
Yeah,
another
let's
way.
try to add some.
Just yeah, right there. Just leave it there. I see the scratches. Yes, and that was on your neck.
Yep, that was on video and photo, so the evidence was very clear. There was no manipulation,
And I can see
nothing
your
like that.
nails are short. It's not like you got long nails or anything.
No,
Yeah.
I chew my nails right off.
Wow, that must have been a really strange experience. And like I asked before, how did you feel after? Did anything strange happen to you, or did you feel like you had something attached to you afterwards when that happened
So
with the scratches?
about 2 months later, I was taking her to work, and I'm driving home, and all of a sudden I feel more heat coming down my neck again. I snapped a
Okay,
photo, and there was more claw marks
really?
while I was driving back
Hmm.
home.
And
Yeah.
and tell me about. I always like to ask, like, what do you guys do for protection when you're on site? Do you have any rituals that your team does?
So I wear a protection bracelet.
Okay.
I use a lot of white sage.
Mhm.
So I like to cleanse everything around me. And that's basically about it. I use basically old practices.
Yep, old practices always work, and it's all about intention, right? I talk to a lot of practitioners and witches, and people who talk about protection, and it's all about intention, right? So,
Yeah. This
did
book
you?
will actually help you teach protection, spells, things like that. So
Who's the author of that one? Ride Silver.
this would be Silver Ravenwolf.
Okay, Ravenwolf. All right. Nice. So
Uh,
now you said you're a medium. So did you sense any of this stuff kind of before it happened, or do you think
yeah.
the house knew that you were going there?
Um, so like my very first time going into Bobby's, like by myself, I was outside of the building and I just like inside, I felt like a lot of darkness overtaking the area. Um,
So you
it
felt
was
like it was off before you went in.
right, like one of those moments in a horror movie where you're like, should I or should I not?
Right.
And I decided to go in because, I'm that kind of person. I'm not afraid of the spirit world. I'm not afraid of them. That's the thing. I can see them just as much as I can see you, her, or anyone else. I can talk to them just as I'm talking to you. That's
Yeah.
it. And
I
all
have
my videos on YouTube, you don't ever see me run. You don't ever see me scream or cry or, oh my goodness, because there's no point in the more you show fear, the more you feed off the negative energy, the more they have power to take control over you.
exactly. I
You
was just
become
gonna say
so
that.
vulnerable to show them, oh, look how easy he is to scare. Now you're a target. Now
Yes.
you're a target.
Yeah, then they'll follow you around and try to do more stuff to spook you, right? Yeah, I've got 2
Exactly.
mediums on my team, and I find it very helpful. Now, where were you guys at here?
So this is actually a cemetery just right around Flat Rock area, right
Flat
down
Rock
the
in
road from.
Michigan?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I'm in Flat Rock, Newfoundland.
Oh, nice.
So this was a cemetery.
Yeah, it goes back to about 1850s.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I love the really older cemeteries. Aren't they cool? Now I see some dolls in here. Where is this at?
Now, this was at the Stimson Hospital in Grand Haven, Michigan.
Grand Haven, Michigan. Okay.
Yep, it was used as a tuberculosis hospital. Eventually became a doctor's office, and
Yeah, I think I see some instruments and stuff down there. Did you get very much evidence at either of these two places, the cemetery or
so
the TB place?
there I was actually with multiple teams that night. Um,
Is this one of the teams in the other picture? Oh, there's another shot of y'all at Bobby's.
yep, that's us together at Bobby's.
Was that before you went in?
Yep, this was just before we went in.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this one right here is at the Ohio infirmary down in Ohio.
Okay. And did you
That was
find any?
upstairs where they would chain the girls up.
Yes. Yeah. Did you find anything strange there or any?
Oh, they had me go in the morgue by myself, sitting in a freezer doing an Estes method. I was touched multiple times. I had a cat ball thrown at me. It was creepy.
Oh, wow. I bet that
I
was
was like,
fun.
don't you guys ever leave me in there again.
You didn't like that, hey?
I hate tight, closed spaces.
Yes, for good reason by the sounds of it. Now we've got another shot.
Okay, so this one was at the Stimson Hospital, which was in Grand Haven. That's the whole. Those are all like the multiple teams that were
Right.
there that night. Great night. We all caught a lot of EVP sessions, and
Yeah, it's always fun when you can team up with people. It must have been a large facility to have so many people there at once. And there's some, you want to talk about where people can find you? We can go back to that at the end. And that's a great pic of
I
you
don't
there.
have Twitter anymore.
Okay.
I was banned.
You were banned from Twitter.
I
But
was banned permanently.
uh-oh. And then you have a YouTube site also, it looks like.
I do.
Yep. So, do you want to talk about some more stuff? We were talking off air about some of the things. You had said that I think your father, was it, or was it your grandfather, knew a lot of Krampus stories. Since
Okay,
we're doing a
so
Christmas episode, I thought we'd throw some Krampus in there.
yeah, my dad's biologically full-blood Scandinavian, so he comes from the Nordic
Nice.
area.
Okay.
Now he was adopted as a baby by an Irish family, so I have a lot of family in Ireland.
Okay.
Uh,
Nice.
but yeah, so when we were kids, we were told the story of Krampus, and they would go as far as making fake hoof prints in the snow to make it look like he was watching us from our windows.
Okay. Yeah, because he's on two legs.
Yep, exactly. So they say he's a goat figure, demon looking spirit, and well, I feel like he's more human than he is animal.
Yeah, I see the parades and stuff that they do for Krampus. They have quite the elaborate festival for
I
different
would die
Krampus.
and go to heaven if I was able to go to one of those.
Yeah, they look really fun. Lots of different things. Is there
I would
any
love to go
other?
to Norway. That's where they hold the biggest festivals in the world is Norway, and I would love to go.
Nice. Is there any other things that you want to share about that, or?
Well, so kind of like the story here in Michigan, we have like the Wolfman,
Okay.
things like that.
Yeah.
Well, so a little bit of a story here that I may think may creep a lot of people out. It was actually right around Christmas time. Um, we were on my grandparents' property getting ready for bed, and we heard a big banging on the back of our door. Now, mind you, we lived on 180 acres. We had no neighbors. Um, and we lived in the middle of the rural nowhere. So for someone to be knocking on our back door at 1 a.m. in the morning, that would freak anybody out.
Yes.
Well, according to my mom, my grandmother, and my grandfather, they all saw this human being standing outside the back porch. It was a guy. Well, my grandpa went to go grab the shotgun. My mom grabbed the flashlight. My grandmother went out the front to go, and they all went around. he wasn't there anymore. Well, there was actual footprints leading up to the doorway. So, okay, maybe we can, find footprints, follow them, see maybe where he went. Nowhere to be found, nowhere to be seen.
Hmm.
We call family that happened to live, a couple miles up the driveway,
Right.
and they all come down. They all search the woods. We're all out there with flashlights, shotguns, everything looking. Nothing. We call
Huh.
authorities to have them come out to do a search. Well, they weren't willing to go through the swamp, so we were like, well, this guy was able to get through that. Maybe you guys can. And they were like, no, there ain't no way no one's getting through that. That's all swamp.
So,
Well, come to find out, the guy that was knocking on our back door, because they were able to give a good description,
right.
ended up dying 10 years prior to drunk driving on that road 20 miles down from us. He apparently walked through the woods while he was drunk and disorderly and died frozen to death in the woods. And
Oh my
I guess
gosh.
the spirit came to visit.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, you never know what goes on in the woods. I mean, our neighbors cutting down a lot of trees and stuff, and it seems like, when we use or do any things or investigations in our house, I don't know if you've ever done that, it seems like it ramps things up, you know?
Our house is pretty haunted. We have plenty of spirits that live in this house.
Yeah. What have you guys found? Anything special, Autumn? Did you want to talk about anything?
Guy. Cigar guy.
Yeah.
Which one?
So okay, so was he like the owner?
Yeah.
Okay, so the previous owner of the home, he had a major heart attack and he died.
Oh,
So he died on the way to the hospital. And
on the way to the hospital.
yeah. And so she was telling me like how when, before we got together, how she would go to bed, wake up, and there'd be a guy standing there and it would smell like hard cigars.
Right.
Come to find out, it was the previous homeowner. His spirit never moved on, and now
He didn't believe me at first.
No?
Nope. He was like, no, that doesn't happen. Then he smelled the cigar. He goes, "Where's the cigar?" He goes, "Do you smoke cigars?" I said, "No smoking cigars here."
I can't be around cigars. They make me throw up.
So he's like, "Where's that strong odor?" I said, "It's the guy."
And
Wow.
sure enough, I was coming back from the garage one night, and there he was standing on the porch
Oh,
watching.
really?
Yeah,
Okay. So he was
I
just
dropped.
checking in on the
I
house
dropped
and
everything I had in my hands on the ground, and I said, "Who are you?" And he just poof, gone.
so he was a
I thought it was
full-on
someone just
apparition.
breaking in. I thought it was
Now,
someone breaking in.
have you ever seen a picture of him to compare to what you've seen?
Yeah.
I've
No?
never personally seen a photo of him, but we have his death certificate.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. We don't know why, but they left it here.
They left it there. Hmm. Have you ever tried to reach out to the family and give it to them, or?
I don't think any of them are alive anymore.
Okay. Wow.
I think they all passed on because his wife was, the only thing he really had.
Yeah. Yeah.
After they
And
sold me the house is when she passed away.
so you think he's kind of like a benevolent spirit that kind of hangs out around your
Oh,
house and
he's not.
checks
He's not
in?
violent. He's not a violent spirit. He just likes to poke his head in a little bit to see what we're
Right.
doing.
He just hangs out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a closet
Interesting.
downstairs full of ashes. I got my grandmother's ashes and
Oh.
then both of our cats. So I have a cemetery in my closet.
Now, have you ever have any pet activity with spirits?
Uh, well, I do have the cat walls behind me,
Right.
and
She means like when Buddy and Malenka.
yeah, that's what. Yeah. So like with the cat walls, because my cat specifically like to play with toys.
Okay. Yeah.
So I did a test one day, and sorry about that. Someone's knocking downstairs.
No worries. Yeah.
Um, did a test one day with the cat ball. I sat it down and I said, Malenko, if you're still here, play with the cat ball. Sure as shit, it started moving around, and I'm like, oh, I know he's here.
Oh, how cute. I love
Yeah,
pet stories. Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
see a shadow every now and then.
Do ya? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when stuff like that happens. Now, we were talking off air. I think you said you knew a crew who a lot of people like on YouTube right now from
What's that?
Project Fear. Do you remember we were
Oh,
talking off
yeah,
air?
Project Fear.
Yeah.
So I ran into those guys while I was working a haunted house down in Monroe, Michigan.
Okay.
They came through the haunt. I scared the living piss out of them. Obviously, that's my job as an actor. Um,
So you were doing an acting job.
correct. Yep.
Okay.
I do off season haunted houses and things like that. I help other haunted houses like set up, build. I act.
Okay. Yeah. So they were just going through the haunted house kind of thing.
Yep, they were doing a segment. It's over on their YouTube channel actually.
Okay.
Um, and right after they went through, we actually had the chance to sit down and talk to them. And I was fangirling a little bit because I'm like, wait, how are they here right now? I just seen their last video.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I ended up giving them one of my business cards, and they ended up subscribing. So.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah. That's always nice, when you get out and you meet other people and other teams. Do you do that quite often? Because I know some of the pictures that I had up earlier, there were a lot of other teams there. Do you travel a lot to other places?
Yeah, me and her actually over the summer, um, I was telling you my best friend had passed away back in
I'm
July.
sorry. Yes, and we'd like to dedicate today. You'd like to make a dedication. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, I would like to dedicate a lot of this to my buddy Eric because without him, I wouldn't be here. He pushed me as hard as I can to get out every day and film, film, film.
Good for Eric. Yes, everybody, raise a glass to Eric and have a cheer to Eric, or if you have a shot glass, raise a shot to Eric.
Skull.
Skull. I have a water. Skull.
I have an energy drink.
Ooh, there you go. That sounds
Not really much
interesting.
energy, but it's more for the flavor.
Yeah, I like the flavors too. I always put some flavored stuff in my water. But yeah, sorry about Eric, and it's great that he kind of helped move you along there. And
And today happens to actually be his 30th birthday, so
okay,
happy heavenly birthday to him as well. So
happy heavenly birthday. I know there's difficult times sometimes during Christmas, especially with people who've passed. So we'll give them a few jingles. Happy heavenly birthday.
yeah.
So, what else would you like to talk about? How did you guys meet Paranormal Coven?
Honestly, I just it would be Beyond the Shadows kind of introduced me to a lot of new paranormal groups.
Okay, yeah.
Um, so I kind of just went along, found their profile, I hit follow, and ever since then I just started sharing and liking everything and basically getting involved with everything with it. So,
No, you had mentioned off air something about the drones. Do you have anything in Michigan that you'd like to add about the drones since we're very
okay,
hot
so
topic?
let's talk about the drones. Okay,
Okay.
everyone, they're not aliens. It's the government trying to distract us from something very important that's about to happen, and you're all being fooled.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people saying that. Yes. So what is Michigan saying?
Okay, so I guess apparently there have been two sightings in Howell, Michigan,
Mhm.
two sightings in Saginaw, and at least five sightings in Detroit, and then right on the downriver area of Detroit. So,
Okay. And these were orbs or these were drones or did
no,
they
these were drones.
Okay.
I fly drones myself. I know
Mhm.
what a drone is. I know what they look like. I know how big they can get
Right.
because Amazon has delivery drones. How else do you think they deliver those big old packages? They have to have a drone big enough to carry it.
So tell me more about what you think is going on with it. I mean, some of it is obviously blatantly drones, but then some people are showing pictures of weird orbs that are doing some pretty cool maneuvers.
So I don't know if you know Starlink or heard
Yes.
of it.
Oh yes, Elon
Okay.
Musk. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So when this all first started happening, I actually witnessed the first time I ever saw Starlink go by. And I called the news station. I freaked out. I made a big story about it, right?
You're like,
So,
whoops.
and come to find out, it's just satellites.
Right. Yeah.
I know if I go straight down towards Monroe, out in the middle of the boonies, you can literally see satellites go by all night,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
especially if it's a clear, beautiful night. You can see satellites as far as you can see them just clear as day go right on by. They're just little blinking lights, little tiny little blimps.
Yeah.
They kind
Yeah.
of vanish off.
Yeah, our stratosphere is kind of like a big satellite garbage can up there right now, isn't
Oh,
it?
it is. It is. It's kind of sad, really. I wish they'd get up there and do something about it, but
Yeah.
yeah, what can
Yeah.
we do?
Right. That's the thing. So it is a hot topic, that's for sure, everywhere. And a
I
lot of
just feel like
people
it's a
actually,
distraction.
it's funny. Like everybody's talking about it. I put a post up, was it today? And now it's up to 11,000 hits. That's within like a couple hours. Like what the? It's gone viral
Yeah.
now. And
My honest opinion, I feel like they're giving a lot of people who have actually witnessed real UFO sightings a bad name. Um, they're sitting here calling them UAPs or whatever. Yeah, it's simple. They're U.S. military government drones or another foreign country drone doing something to whatever. They have night vision, they have heat seeking, they have all that technology. They can literally read a whole gold mine if they wanted to.
yes, we can.
It's called sonar.
Yep. Yeah. There's definitely a lot going on that they're not telling us about. And
I just feel like
it's
people need to wake up and go, "Oh, we're moving in a world of technology. What's a better way to do something without having to pay someone so much money to do the exact same job?"
yeah. So I mean, it is scaring a lot of people, and that's too bad. I just kind of move along, and go, yeah, okay, whatever. But I don't think people should be afraid of it. I know there's lots of conspiracy theories and stuff out there.
Well, and see, that's our job. That's our job as investigators is to go in,
Debunk.
debunk or prove whether or
Hmm.
not someone is telling the truth or not.
Right.
We're not all, oh my God, there's a holy moly, there's a bunch of ghosts. Something moved off in the distance, come out to find out it was a mouse.
Well, some people in the group sent me some pictures, and it was back in November, but there wasn't as many people talking about it then. But it seems like now everybody's seeing them everywhere,
Well,
even
the
here.
one photo they keep sharing, it looks exactly like a plane. I live right by the Detroit Metro Airport. I know what a plane looks like,
Right.
top to bottom.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
lights on there are green and red. That's a standard issue plane color.
Yeah. Of a UFO, they don't need landing lights and running lights.
No,
They're
no.
not going to an airport. They don't need those.
They're not landing in Hawaii for vacation.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, is there any other stories or things that you want to talk about before we peace out about Andrew's paranormal experience and any experiences that stick out in your mind from all of your investigations?
Well, I would like to talk about something real, and that's Bigfoot.
Okay.
Okay.
We can talk about Bigfoot.
I have a story for you guys about
Yeah.
Bigfoot and my experience
I
of
just recorded a lady last night from then down under in Australia about Yowies, Bigfoots.
"Ooh, I want to go to Australia. Let's go."
So
Shoot.
what did you experience?
So anyway, yeah, we were doing a video out in the middle of the woods. It was on a state land, so
In the
big
woods?
property,
Yeah. Yeah.
And me and my buddy Cole were walking down a pathway, and we happened to catch a fox on camera running by us.
Oh,
Cute little red fox just running by. We're like, okay, we know what it is. We're not scared. And as we're getting ready to set up for another segment, I go off, off camera, whatever, to do my business.
right.
And
Yeah.
all of a sudden you hear a big old whoa bam right on a tree
Oh,
within 25 feet of me. You can hear it on the mic. It literally sounded like someone took a enormous whip and just whipped it across a tree.
huh.
And you can hear like a growling sound in the back. And that's when me and him just grabbed all our crap and just took off.
Okay. So you think that you kind of were scared away by him? He said, "Hey, what are you doing here?
You're in my territory. Move.
Move along now."
Like I feel like I did come encounter with the Bigfoot. Like I didn't get to see it. I didn't capture it on film. I can't prove it, but
Now, when I was talking to this person last night from Yowie Central, they talked about how sometimes people, have different feelings around them. What were your feelings? Were you scared, or did you feel at peace with it?
well,
Or
you definitely know the environment changed right away because when it goes completely from birds chirping in the trees to complete silence, something or a predator is nearby.
yes, 100%. Yeah.
Me as a hunter should know exactly either a bear, bobcat, or anything like that. That's what would make a whole forest go quiet. Anything like a predatorial thing.
And from a
Oh,
medium standpoint, did you sense anything?
no. I
And
did feel like I was being stared at by something, but like it didn't cross my mind like, okay, we're not too far from civilization. Maybe we're okay. You know, I was completely wrong.
okay, yeah, yeah. A lot of people experience different things with the Bigfoot and the Dogman. Um,
Yep. That's a
yeah,
big story here too.
yes, yeah, in Michigan for sure. Have you had any Dogman experiences, or knowing people who have had some?
Um, I've experienced the black dog experience while driving.
The black dog?
Yeah, so the story behind that is semi truck drivers who would drive constantly. Well, in
Right,
the middle of the night, you're tired, you're exhausted. Well,
right,
the story is if you see a black dog on the side of the road, either A, you're about to die, or B, he's warning you, hey, wake up.
yeah, okay,
Um,
kind of
and
like
I've
a
I've experienced that plenty of times with my own travels from here to Colorado to and I travel quick. I don't really like to stop unless I'm filling up for gas or food.
yeah.
So I have the weary travel syndrome, and I see the black dog every now and then.
That means, yeah, stay alert on the roads, folks, while you're traveling for Christmas. Now, if people want to reach out to you and Andrew's paranormal experience, where do they go and how do they find you?
Well, you guys can go over to my YouTube channel at Andrew M666 or Andrew's Paranormal Experience. I
I
also
got
have
it.
an Instagram that people can reach out to me as well, at Andrew's Paranormal 666. I have TikTok as well, at Scarecrow 666993. That's my TikTok. Um,
The one you were banned from?
no, that'd be Twitter.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
X, X
Yeah.
as they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can no longer reach me over on X. I'm completely banned until Elon lets me back in. And I have been really trying to get a hold of him.
To say,
He's
hey,
a
let
hard
me
man to
back
get a hold
on.
of, but I am trying to get a hold of him to get my account back because I really need it.
Right, yeah. Especially during the season, you wanna reach out to family and whatnot. And you wanna give a shout out to your fans?
Uh, what's up, guys? I hope you guys all enjoyed this segment. I really appreciate all the love and support that everybody in my neighborhood has been showing. Also in the paranormal community, I would also like to shout out to a lot of you guys, but we don't have time for that. For getting me as far as I am to this day. So thank you everyone for all the love and support.
And thank you to all the PNL Podcast fans and alumni network members. And we're going to peace out and we're going to wish everybody a very happy, merry, scary Christmas and a happy new year. And thanks again for being on the show. And
Behave or Krampus will get you.
that's right. We'll see you online. We're going to peace out with some music. Are you ready?
All right. Well, it was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you guys. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Bob. Here we go.
Are we good?